Hello, welcome back to another one of my grading tutorial, and today we are looking at 8.0, and real quick is the cheat sheet that I show and we can use. Okay, let's take a look at the very first book. Iron Man, Tail Suspense, First Appearance of Whiplash. Let's take a look. There are some minor wear there, okay. Little ding here, not a big deal. And then the spine, the white tend to hide some of the flaws, but look at that beautiful corner, razor sharp edge, sharp corner there, and there's a problem. Okay, right there is a tear. How big is it? Not quite half an inch, larger than a quarter, roughly about 3/8 of an inch. Okay, and if you look at my cheat sheet right here, when it said that a half-inch tear will max out the book at 8.5. Okay, so here we don't have half an inch, but there are some wears right there. And let's see, the overhang on the back cover created some tiny little tear. You can see it right here. It's tiny. Okay, there's two basically. They're like 1/8 of an inch. This one's slightly larger than 1/8. But that's it. The cumulative fall of this book, as you can see, it's a beautiful book, but because of the few tiny tears you see here on the top edge where the overhang is, on top of these tears right here, that will keep this book at an 8.0 max. Okay, that's one example. Let's take a look at the second book. Now this book, like the other book, have beautiful corners and edge, but here is where the problem is. You have, okay, a ding right here, another one right here, another one right here. There's a lot of little spine wear, but then you have a big one right here, and then a real big one. It's about half an inch. Okay, and then one more here. So if you can look at that, no doubt the amount of flaws as far as crease, it probably somewhere around 1 inch. Okay, probably less. It's more like 3/4 inch if you were to sit there and measure and add up all the little problem right here. But that's it. That is enough to get this book an 8.0 for sure. You know, definitely not higher, and I don't see it any lower. As you can see, the back cover is real decent. A good looking 8.0. Okay, let's take a look at the next example. Here is the worst problem. Right here you have slightly larger than 3/4 inch crease right here. Okay, the spine of this book is actually pretty good. Beautiful, sharp. It's too bad about that one corner. Let's take a look at the back cover. Beautiful. Nothing jumped out. Okay, there's a slight blunted corner right here, but other than that, a beautiful sharp looking book. But bring it up, there's a few little spine indentation there, nothing major. Okay, but this is where the problem is. That crease is just way too big to be an 8.5 in my opinion, but that's it. Okay, if there's any problem with this book, I would say because of this crease right here. It's just way too big to be anything in the 8.5 range. Next, Let's see. Decent looking book here. Okay, the rough edge here is common with many silver age marble, not a big deal. Okay, it might be a big deal if this book was flawless and this little ding right here might keep it from a 9.8, but you get a little problem right here, slightly tiny creases there, little rounding. Look at that. Pretty good looking book, right? Slightly bindery tears, not a big deal. Allowable even in 9.6. I'll give you a closer look. The spine is pretty decent. There's some tiny little indentation right there, a little crease right there, but if you look at this book, from what you see there with that top corner, it's almost an easy 9.2, right? It looks so good, if not even better, but easy 9.2. And then, bing, there's a tape pull right here at the bottom right. A damn shame. Because of that, it's about, I would say, less than half an inch in size, okay? Less than that. But unlike a crease that is, half an inch, this is, fairly larger and more visible, almost like a tape pull that, well, it's a tape pull right there. So because of that, reluctantly, I give this book an 8.0. I don't see it go lower than 8.0 because, as you can see, the rest of this book is gorgeous. Okay? But because of that tape pull at the corner right there, I think 8.0 would be maximum. Could be 8.5, who knows, but I don't imagine myself submitting this book for grading, so I would never know. But in my opinion, I would be very comfortable to list this book as an 8.0 with that flaw right there. Okay, let's take a look at another one. Okay, this book, the top edge, light wear, rounded corner. And then you get another soft corner here, little crease, soft edges. Okay, but let's bring this book down to an 8.0. Let me show you. Beside those two soft corners, it's right there. I'm not sure you can see it. There are about 5 or 6 scratches on the spine. I'm not sure what caused that. It could be production, but regardless, as you can see right there, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 scratches, and one of them fairly large. It's like a half an inch scratch right there. So because of that, on top of the soft corners, in the back of this book, as you can see, is very nice. The back looked almost flawless, but because of the front, I have to give this one an 8.0 because of most of the issue right here. I don't know what caused this, but I would not be comfortable listing it anything higher than 8.0. Okay. Okay, let's take a look at another one. Right off the bat, you can see a slight blunt right here. Not bad. It will break the color, but you can see it right there. And then you got a little thumb crease right there, indent. It doesn't really break color, so it's not a big deal, but as you can see, so that's 1, 2. The corner that's not a crease. I think that's production related, but the corner is not razor sharp. The rest of the book here look pretty decent. Let's look at the spine. hard to tell, but as you can see, the spine look pretty decent. Okay, so what's wrong? What the front alone, easy 9.4, right? Based on what you see, even the two little flaw right there, but that's doesn't look very bad because it does not break any color, so it can still be a 9.4 right there. And here's why. You can see it. Okay, first, that looked pretty blunted right there. I think you can see it more right there. Okay, so that's pretty bad, but ultimately what brings it down is the moisture damage right there, as you can see. Hopefully you can see it right there. How big is it? I say it's about half a quarter in size. Okay, not quite that big, but it's about half a quarter in size. And if you look at the chart I have here, I said that if you have anything that is half a quarter, half a penny, I mean, then you look at 9.0 max. If there is a 1/4 size stain, 8.0 max. This one is only half a quarter, but if you take into account all the other little flaws like here and here and here, I think 8.0 would be a fair number to give this book. You know, it's a shame because of this moisture right here. Okay. Perhaps some of the tougher issue with grading mid-grade books is surface wear. Okay, because it's very difficult, in my opinion, to quantify something as light wear to moderate wear. But let's take a look at this book. From the front of this book, you can see there's a little bending, curling right there, but it's not a big deal. Okay. The spine, pretty decent. There's 1, 2, 3. Okay, there's maybe 4 spine ticks on the spine. Maybe an easier way to look at it is up against the light. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so 6 minor spine ticks. Even with this little curl right here and a little crease, you can still look at something that's 9.0 if that was it. Okay, but okay, let's take a look at what's wrong with this thing. That I think it should be an 8.0. You see the wave, the bend on the edge of the book is not flat. Okay, so you have some bending on the edge like that. And let's take a look at the back covers. I believe the back cover have the same issues. It's just a lot of minor imperfection. Okay, let's take a look. Okay, some indents right there. There's some indent on the upper left corner. Okay, all kind of dent. Big spine creases, fairly big, you can see. So if you look at the back cover as is, okay, I would categorize it as light to moderate wear, okay, because it just have a lot of imperfections, a lot of dent and creases, all small but enough. And then if you add in all the issue that you see here on the edge, then this book should be in a very fine condition or 8.0. Okay, if you don't agree, let me know. I'm sure some people on eBay might sell this as a 9.0, but in my opinion, it's an 8.0. It's a nice book. And the controversial topic of pressing, sure, if you put this book under a press and improve all the little indentation, sure, this book can be a 9.0, no problem. But as is, you're looking at an 8.0, okay? Okay, let's take a look at this book. Beautiful edge, okay? It's misleading. You can see the indents right there on the spine. let's take a look at the right edge corner. Everything is pretty sharp, right? Just a little dent right there, not a big deal. Slight crease right there. And if you put up the light, you can see the spine wear more visibly. Yeah, some 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There are 7 fairly large spine wear that are very well hidden with the white spine. You know, when this is the benefit of having a miswrapped book. Sometimes the color break is not, you know, where they have the color, so it hides well. But you know, when you put up against the light, you know. So as you can see, there's enough wear on the surface here to probably keep this book 9.0 max based on what the front look like. And then in the back cover, okay, first you get the tiny little tears there. It's not that big, it's about 1/8 of an inch. Okay, and there's a slight little crease right there. Not a big deal, but the majority of the problem is, oh, there you go, you can see a lot of dent, ripples right there, or right there. So when you look at a book like this, where, you know, it's not bad, but you can see half a dozen area with ripples, dent, curl, a lot of imperfection in the back cover. As is, no doubt, I think it's an 8.0, sure. Just like the other book, I think if you submit this for a professional to press the book, you know, it probably can be a lot higher, but as is, I would not want to sell this higher than 8.0, okay? Last but not least, I may have bring this book out one time before, but you know, when it comes down to, you look at the cheat sheet, right? You have the 1-inch crease 8.0 max. The sad thing is, you know, sometimes a flaw of the book is so well hidden that it makes a book look a lot better than it is. This is one of the biggest issue with people that buy slabs. Sometimes they look at the slab and they say, oh, you know, how can this be? This book look like a 9.2. How can this be an 8.0? It's undergraded. But if you look closely, you will see why. Okay, let me show you. The edge and top corner of this book is gorgeous, okay? Gorgeous. And the spine, look at that. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4 tiny little ticks, okay? So based on what you see here, and the back cover, I don't need to show it to you, is really nice. You can see this book 9.2, 9.4, right? Okay, it's so beautiful, but here is a problem. Right there. Hopefully you can see it. It's hard to shoot them. There you go. There is a long 1-inch crease. I have measured this all the way from right there all the way to the tip of the corner. So if you look at this book and the crease is like, instead of like going straight down like this and hidden well, it's hard to, you know, unless you catch it. You think this book, you know, is way undergraded, but really the way CGC grade is, regardless of where the crease are, you know, they will ding it. So if they ding it just as bad as if this 1-inch crease is right here across the corner. It's a shame, because this is a beautiful book. The eye appeal of this book is very high for an 8.0, but I think it would be very tough for CGC to give it a 9.0 based on that 1-inch crease right there, unless the graders of course miss it. So anyhow, I hope the video helped you guys out there, and thanks for watching.